Are you looking to stay informed about what's going on in Madison without the media spin? Well, here's the latest news from the Wisconsin Assembly Chambers brought right into your home, directly from the office of your representative, who truly values his constituents' feedback and is always working hard on the issues that matter to you. Welcome to the Ramthun Report with Tristan Johannes.
Hello, my fellow citizens. Today's date is February 18th, 2020. Here at the Ramthun Report, we strive to create transparency between our representatives and their constituents and offer you a channel to get the latest happenings on the state governments without the media spin. Each week, we would like to introduce a new short survey after our report so we can get your feedback on the latest issues and make sure that your voices are heard. Together, we will create a movement for truth because you are the ones who hired us to represent you. We also welcome you to reach out to us even if you're not in our district, because we are here to create transparency and we will get you in touch with your representative. As Rep. Ramthun would say, let's get down to brass tacks. A brief recap from last week, we took a tour of Representative Ramthun's office just to help create a little more transparency and help us understand a little bit more about who he is and what makes him tick. We also had the Senate petition for a ruling on the Fabic versus Evers case regarding unconstitutional mandates. And while we would love to give you a little bit more information on the ruling, it's up to the court and it's on the court's time. So as soon as we hear any new developments, we will make sure to keep you informed on that. We also wanted to inform you that on February 11th, the Joint Audit Committee had a hearing with the WEC, the Wisconsin Elections Commission. And we had a constituent call us while he was at home watching the hearing on the WISI, and he called to let us know he had two questions that he'd like to ask. He said, how many people can legally cast a ballot in Wisconsin, and how many people actually voted in Wisconsin? And why isn't anyone asking that question? So I passed it on to Tim, and he immediately ran into the hearing while it was still in session, and we saw this happen.
And then how many people actually cast their ballot in Wisconsin in the 2020 election? Do you have those actual numbers?
We absolutely do. So we actually just put out a data report from the November election that shows how many registered voters are in the statewide system. You know, I know there was a myth that there were more voter participations than voter registrations. We have election day registration here in the state of Wisconsin. And so on election day, that pool of people that are registered to vote continues to grow, but ultimately participation is recorded and you can't be issued a ballot, be it by mail, in person, without being a registered voter.
What election in your memory, again, I'm going to throw this out here, had the highest voter participation?
I believe it was 2008 or 2012. It is in our reports, and I'd be glad to share that with committee members too. But actually 2020 was not the highest number of voters that have turned out for a general election in Wisconsin. Percentage of eligible vote, we had the most number of voters that participated in the 2020 presidential election, but not the highest turnout in relation to eligible voter population.
I guess for just a little bit more clarification, how many people are actually eligible to legally cast a vote in Wisconsin?
Well, there's, according to census data, now we're in the middle of a new census, right. They calculate what's known as eligible voter population. So in the state of Wisconsin, at the last census, there were approximately 4.2 million eligible voters in the state of Wisconsin. In terms of turnout, if we look at 2020, we had approximately 3.3 million people that participated. So still there were about 1 million people that were eligible according to the census that did not participate.
Okay.
How's that for Carpe Diem? We feel like it's important to show you that we do hear you and we are fighting for you. We will definitely give you more updates on this very hot topic as things move forward. This week we saw on Tuesday the 16th, the Assembly passed AB 2, which is Assembly Bill 2, 87-3, which addressed making those PPP loans tax exempt. And for those of you that don't know, these were the loans that helped businesses keep their employees on payroll during the pandemic. And both the Assembly and the Senate passed this bill, and now it sits on the governor's desk. We also saw the governor held a budget address, and Rep. Ramthun wanted to give you his take on it. So what do you guys?
The segment today is to briefly talk about process regarding that situation. We had the governor express his wish list of issues and concerns and desires and the expense that comes with them. And all that really is for everybody to know is his desire. The legislature creates the budget for the state every biennium. They qualify the programs and the appropriations to each program, and then when the legislature approves that budget, they send it to governor for his approval, or hers. That's what's going on here. So for anybody to get excited about what he may have said or done last evening, don't. We have the legislature's in control. We will have the budget created between now and June. June 1st is the target goal time. Usually sometime in the month of June we'll have a final budget vote on the floor for both the Assembly and for the Senate, and then that moves to the governor. Now hypothetically, if the governor does not approve the budget that the legislature creates, he can veto it. And what happens then is, all of it, we would revert back to the last signed budget, which would be the one from 2 years ago. So no new programs, no new monies would be spent. We would be stuck at the last biennium budget from 2 years ago. So there's a consequence for the governor to not do his job either. So a lot's going to happen between today, essentially, now that the governor has expressed this, and essentially June 1st. Stay tuned for coming attractions. Thanks for your time today. Bye now.
This concludes today's Ramthun Report. Please be sure to check the links below for our feedback survey, access to Rep. Ramthun's Facebook, and his website. Thank you for taking the time to stay informed and engaged, and be sure to share this video with your fellow patriots. We will see you next week. God bless you and yours always.